Bill O'Reilly was more than simply a news reporter for a lot of people. He was the news. He used to be the face of Fox News. The network got some of the greatest ratings in the industry because it was known as the king of primetime cable news. But one day in April 2017, his reign came to an end. How can one of the most influential guys in the media lose his position so quickly? Today, we're finally going to tell you the truth about what happened to Bill O'Reilly from Fox News. So, without any further talk, let's get started. Bill O'Reilly is a well-known American conservative TV personality, commentator, author, and journalist. His full name is William James O'Reilly Jr. He has worked for CBS News, ABC News, and Fox News, and he has won many important accolades. O'Reilly has been in the music business for about 50 years, since his TV career began in the mid-1970s. What happened to the man, the myth, and the legend that made him lose his job at Fox News, especially when he was one of the most powerful people in cable news during his time there? Bill O'Reilly still has a lot of fans, but there was a time when the world was against him. This happened a long time ago, in 2017, when things went wrong for the newscaster. So, how did it happen? The first report was that Bill O'Reilly paid 5 women $13 million to settle their claims against him. In April 2017, 21st Century Fox, the company that owns Fox News, said it will look into a claim against O'Reilly. And of course, these false rumors made a lot of corporations stop running commercials on his news show. Wendy Walsh, a psychotherapist and radio broadcaster, and her lawyer Lisa Bloom went on YouTube to talk about the accusations. Walsh says that O'Reilly backed out of his pledge to get her a good job at Fox News after she turned down his invitation to dine at his hotel in 2013. The New York Times was the first to say that Fox News and O'Reilly paid $13 million in sexment. O'Reilly quickly denied these claims, saying that he is being unfairly targeted because he is well known. He didn't say anything else. Fox News couldn't take another hit, given how things are going. Seeing how the workplace was under more scrutiny after the amendment claim led to the departure of Fox's founding chairman, Roger Ailes, barely a year before. What makes this whole thing even more unbelievable is that Fox News allegedly knew about O'Reilly's previous $32 million payment, which was completely unrelated from Walsh's case, before he signed his new contract in February of the same year. The $32 million lawsuit is also O'Reilly's biggest settlement litigation with women who have accused the news reporter of her. What do you think is even more interesting? Fox News went to great efforts to deny that they knew anything about O'Reilly's previous settlements, even putting out a statement to defend their side. The representative said that when the company renewed Bill O'Reilly's contract in February, they knew that Liz Will had threatened to sue him for breach of contract. However, Mr. O'Reilly told them that he had settled the matter personally on terms that he and Miss Will had agreed to keep private. They also said that O'Reilly's new contract was made amid the usual renewals of multi-year contracts and that it incorporated protections for the company, music, that were explicitly meant to protect her. They warned that O'Reilly's contract may be cancelled if the firm learned of other claims or new evidence that was pertinent to the investigation. This is exactly what happened that led to O'Reilly's departure from Fox News. The other lady who made separate sexual charges against the news anchor wanted to stay nameless because she didn't want to get paid. According to her, O'Reilly would come by her desk and grunt like a wild boar in 2008. O'Reilly called the anonymous African-American woman hot chocolate. Music. Even though Bill O'Reilly was one of the most well-known faces of the famous cable news channel, Fox opted to end their relationship with him. 21st Century Fox made the announcement, and O'Reilly himself delivered a statement after leaving, saying that the claims were absolutely false. I am very delighted to have started and run one of the most successful news programs in history at Fox News over the past 20 years. It has constantly informed and entertained millions of Americans and helped Fox become the most popular news network on TV. Music remarked, "It is very sad that we have to go our separate ways because of completely false claims, but that is the sad truth for many of us who are in the public eye today." But can you really blame Fox News for what they did? The corporation is solely looking out for itself. And because O'Reilly's claims alone made 50 companies, including Hyundai, Mitsubishi, Allstate, and Sony, stop advertising with them, it was only logical for Fox to act quickly and cut their losses instead. But don't get me wrong, this was a tough choice for the firm to make because Bill O'Reilly is a huge star with an average of 4 million people every night. His political correctness and attacks on liberals helped him build his platform, which got the attention of big marketers. In 2016, his O'Reilly Factor was the channel's most popular show, bringing in $147.13 million in advertising revenue alone. He has been working with Fox since 1996 and makes about $18 million a year. Even the best-rated news veteran won't be able to win if the accusations against him keep coming in, which is why, Fox has to do something. Mark E. Kasowitz, O'Reilly's lawyer, says that his client is the target of a targeted effort by leftist pressure groups, even if everything is clear and the accusations are strong against him. He says that his law firm has found proof that far-left groups are behind the slander campaign and want to ruin O'Reilly for political and financial reasons. O'Reilly indicated that the only reason he paid those settlements was to protect his kids and put an end to the arguments. Bill O'Reilly continues saying these things aren't true, but is there some truth to them? There must be a fire if there is smoke. Let's look at the other people that sued him for harassment. Along with the women described above, producer Andrea Mris also sued O'Reilly for $9 million in a music dispute. This is a different deal from Juliette Huddy, a TV personality whose lawyers said O'Reilly sought to have sex with her in 2011. The corporation paid the latter $1.6 million to keep quiet about the situation and avoid any legal claims. Huey may not have said anything directly, but the Times said that O'Reilly had 3 prior settlements, one of which said that the news anchor verbally abused her and the other 2 said that he sexually harassed them. The claim of verbal abuse came from a 2002 music tale and concerned a young producer named Rachel Whitley Bernstein. She says that the news anchor came into the newsroom and yelled at her. It didn't take long for Bernstein to leave the company. He got a compensation and a secrecy agreement and then left discreetly. Former and present employees who saw the event and chose to tell the Times about it backed up this story. Rebecca Gomez Diamond, a former anchor of Fox Business Network from 2000 to 2008, made one of the 2 additional sexual complaints. According to 2 sources who spoke to the Times, O'Reilly paid an unknown settlement account in her case. Another person who found out about the payment in late 2016, while looking into what happened at Fox News while Roger Ailes was CEO, backed up this detail. It was sad to see a famous person leave Fox News, but Bill O'Reilly just showed the world that rumors and other name-calling stunts aren't enough to stop him. He's been working on a lot of projects under his own name for the past 2 years, so he's not going anywhere. Bill O'Reilly has made full use of his own platform with No Spin News. He started this podcast not long after he was fired from Fox News. In August 2017, he also started streaming a video version of No Spin News. His No Spin News show started running on Newsmax TV in 2020, and the first TV show came out in June of that year. O'Reilly has been a regular guest on the Glenn Beck radio show since May 2017, in addition to his own show. O'Reilly appeared back on Fox News for the first time on September 26, 2017. Sean Hannity interviewed him. He's also been busy with the publishing of his new book, Confronting Evil, Assessing the Worst of the Worst. His most recent book, which he wrote alongside Josh Hammer, looks at the bigger idea of human evil. It's the second book in his Confronting series, which started with confronting the presidents in 2024. Bill O'Reilly says that evil is hurting another person without feeling bad about it in his book Confronting Evil. He also says that 3 things fuel evil: power, money, and zealotry. Music. In addition to this, the book talks about how history is a fight between good and evil, which makes it seem like the Judeo-Christian tradition has to pick a side instead of being neutral. Another noteworthy feature about the book is that it uses a rogue gallery of both historical and present people to show the numerous kinds of evil. Some of these people are well known throughout history, such Genghis Khan, Henry VIII, Stalin, Hitler, and even Vladimir Putin. Bill O'Reilly also co-wrote the historical non-fiction Killing series, which tells stories about real people and events from history. There are numerous publications by him that are similar to the O'Reilly Factor in terms of ideas and language, like the No Spin Zone, Who's Looking Out for You, and Culture Warrior, to mention a few. O'Reilly, like many other writers, wrote his own book. There are 2 of these in circulation, Bolder and Fresher, which came out in 2014, and A Bold, Fresh Piece of Humanity, which came out in 2008. A lot of his books are fun to read, so it would have been good if Bill O'Reilly had kept writing. But the veteran anchor had more important things to do. The veteran news reporter gave out bad news more recently. The host of No Spin News said on his own website that he would be stepping down because of an ailment that has not been made public. The 76-year-old wrote a small note saying he was sorry for not being there and hoping to be back soon. "Hey, No Spin Nation," he remarked on his site. "Sorry, I'm sick. We'll fight the good fight since we have amazing doctors. My fingertips don't hurt. So, I'll keep you up to speed on me, the news, and anything else important. I hope to be back in the saddle soon." But in more recent news, the host of No Spin Nation has spoken out against Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, after a woman in Minnesota was shot and killed last week. O'Reilly told Leland Vittert of News Nation that ICE needs to de-escalate when asked if it needs to adjust its music techniques. O'Reilly stated, "If you're an ICE agent and you think you might need to use deadly force, then you should step back and see where you are. It would have been easy to arrest the woman after the event. At that moment, she didn't have to deal with a guy swearing and yelling at her." After that, he told Kristi Noem and the Department of Homeland Security to calm things down if they get to the point where violence might break out. He also says that it's in every police manual in the country. O'Reilly made his comment after the shooting death of 37-year-old Renee Good in Minneapolis. When ICE requested Good to get out of her car, she tried to drive away, but the officer shot her when she rolled the car forward. O'Reilly has already called out the groups that were making Trump's America happen before. He also had something to say to the present president of the United States since late last year. Even though the United States is one of the most powerful countries in the world, everyone knows that its government is a mess. Bill O'Reilly has said that the current president needs to deal with a number of problems if he wants to win back the hearts and minds of the people. Last November, on a Monday episode of On Balance, O'Reilly told Leland Vitt that the president can't control the hearts and minds of the American people because there are still big problems that need to be tackled. O'Reilly pointed out that the current U.S. president said he would fix the problems, but it's clear that the high cost of insurance is killing people and there is no healthcare plan in sight. He also said that the president made things worse by promising to decrease costs during his campaign to get back into government. This time, Bill O'Reilly makes a good point compared to his earlier ones. Music, as for his other opinions, one of them put him in trouble with a whole Southeast Asian country for being rude. Bill O'Reilly made most, if not all, of Malaysia's 35 million people angry when he dubbed them impoverished last April 2025. O'Reilly was talking about Chinese President Xi Jinping's trip to Vietnam, Malaysia, and Cambodia in Southeast Asia at the time. He also made an insensitive comment about Malaysian nationals. "Hey, President Xi, I need to tell you something. Those people don't have any money at all. They can't help you," stated the former Fox News anchor. "They can't buy your things since they don't have any money." Okay. So, I don't know why you're going there. At the time of his comment, the US and China were at their most tense ever because of Trump's continuing trade war. Many nations are raising their tariffs to record levels, which has caused many world leaders to work hard to deepen their ties with their partners and find new trade channels. China doesn't mind the record-high tariffs because it's evident that the Chinese president won't give in to US demands. This makes US-China trade very unclear. Back to O'Reilly, he kept going on, stating, "If China loses the US market, music, then it's hosed." He also said that the US has the money and buys the things. "Malays aren't going to buy your stuff." O'Reilly said, "They don't have any money." Of course, you can expect most Malaysians to rise up to defend their country, he said, condemning O'Reilly's rude comment. Other countries from nearby Southeast Asian countries even joined them, joking that only their Southeast Asian brothers can make fun of Malaysia. Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, music, also had something to say about O'Reilly's comment. He didn't like how the news anchor acted. Ibrahim shot back at O'Reilly, adding that the latter doesn't know anything about Asia or what's going on there right now. O'Reilly didn't say he was sorry or let the situation die down. Instead, he made his point stronger by posting a new video on his YouTube account in which he contrasted the per capita wealth of Malaysia to the US. "I'm sorry to have to tell the Prime Minister this, but here are the numbers. In Malaysia, the average income per person is $5,731 a year. O'Reilly noted that the average household income in the US is $42,220. and went on, that would be 8 times as much. If you make $5,000 a year and want to buy a tiny hat, you won't be able to. You can't get Chinese takeaway in Kuala Lumpur either. You hardly eat. This quip of his got him additional trouble, but O'Reilly doesn't back down. Economists have also thrown out O'Reilly's argument that Malaysians are too poor to eat and shop, saying that comparing annual income dollar for dollar doesn't take into consideration the cost of living and quality of life in the area. He also didn't take into account that Malaysia gives its people a lot of help with things like healthcare, food, gasoline, and education. The US is the only country that has trouble with food subsidies, and many of O'Reilly's points are absolutely wrong. In his last diatribe, he also talked about how the former TV presenter got Malaysia and Indonesia mixed up when he remembered that Barack Obama was partly raised there. In fact, Obama spent some of his boyhood in Jakarta, Indonesia, not Malaysia.